Hi, this is Robert Clinky-Beard with the Commercial Landscaper Podcast. We're going to take 20 minutes to deliver some amazing content from accomplished leaders and business owners to provide you with some value to scale your business and to become a better leader and push yourself out of your comfort zone. We encourage you to like and share with everyone to spread our messages. I'm super excited to announce our new partnership with Weathermatic. For most landscape companies, irrigation is an untapped gold mine for growth and profit, but labor and process problems stand in the way. So Weathermatic has created a partnership to package mobile technology and software with proven business solutions to tackle the perennial irrigation challenges and take your operations to a whole new level. I encourage you to reach out to Weathermatic and learn more. Cheers, everyone. This is Robert Clinky-Beard with the Commercial Landscaper Podcast. I'm really excited to be joined by Avi Kumar. Avi, welcome to the show today. I'm excited that you're on the show.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I'm excited to be here as well. And let's see what we can get out of this.
Okay, cool. Well, we have a pretty large audience. They're always keen to hear, what we can share with them and try and improve their business. So tell me a little bit about your background, please.
Sure. So I'm a owner and founder of KUWARE, which has been around for 16 years. It's a full service marketing agency, but specifically more focused on local service businesses. We also acquired just about 3 years back now, InvisiblePPC, which is a white label service, again, focusing on local service businesses. So KUWARE handles end clients and Invisible handles agencies who need the same service for them. So local businesses who want to get, more customers, and how to get customers and how the landscape is changing is the area we focus on. That's our area of specialty of marketing, if you will.
Okay, cool. I know, there's certainly some people out there that still struggle between, what is sales, business development, marketing material, and how to allocate dollars on each of those different channels. Talk to me about a little bit about what you specifically, offer, or what you see the opportunities out there in terms of either lead gen, SEO, paid media. I'd just love to hear, where you seeing or seeing some of the trends or opportunities. I feel a lot of landscape companies don't necessarily know that space all that well.
Yeah. So first thing is, this is how I like to think, that first you need a digital home, which includes basically your website, and it includes the Google My Business or Google Business Profile, now they call it GBP. So you kind of, those two things, if you're a local service business and landscape, you got to do that. Those are the basic first requirement. Even if it is a simple one, it's okay. Depending on the where you are, it can be simple and you can grow. Then after that, the question becomes that how will you get business? And the two sources are basically people finding you by doing just a Google search, or finding you because they did a search and the ad showed up, or an ad on a, they were not looking for you, but they saw an ad and they got interested. So those are the true, what I call paid media versus just organic media, just earned media where they just find you. Both are needed. And the important part to understand is that organic media is like, I like to think of it, it's like rain. You cannot completely depend on it if you are, a serious farmer, but absolutely it's free. You want to leverage it and you want to do everything you can to collect the rain and use the water and things like that. Same way, SEO will work to some extent, and it doesn't work exactly as you want, but it does work, it helps. So you got to do that because it's rainwater, it's free. But then to really grow the business, to get your, business really going, and if you are a farmer, to get your crops growing, you need a irrigation system, which is paid water. And that's the paid media. Paid media, you control it. You pay for it and you get the water, and you get it when you want it. So there might be times when the business is low, you can just use paid media to get business higher. If it is a non-season, you still want to get some people in. So it's a combination which is needed. And it should be, other thing to be aware of is, when you start organic SEO, it takes a while to set up. So it might be, if you're just starting out and at your early stages, you might have to spend more money on the paid media and SEO as well as it's building up. And once SEO builds up, you could reduce the money spent on the paid media. But for any serious business, both are needed, and they are needed on an ongoing basis and be set up. And then the next step comes in is within the paid media, there are multiple channels. So there's a challenge now that, hey, which one works for local service businesses, for landscaping, specifically, for example. So there is Google, there is Meta, and then there are third-party services like Yelp, etc., Angie, Yelp, etc., which are third-party. They kind of sell you leads effectively when you get found. So Google, Meta, and TikTok now. So in these, when choosing, this is the way I like to think of it. There are some services which have urgency. People need them urgently. Usually they will come from Google, and the higher volume will come from Google search. But there are certain things we got to nudge them. You got to remind them they need to do it. And they might be not, they're thinking about it, but they're not ready. Meta works really well for that, because now they see an image and ad that, hey, this project you were kind of thinking about, but forgot about it. Now suddenly an image shows up and you're interested in it and you might sign up. So that's where the Meta works. Like Meta is basically, it's like television. It's interactive advertising. You didn't go there to look for an ad, but ad shows up, and if it matches, you'll take action. So think in those terms, that if you want urgency work, Google. If you want work which is not urgent, but you need a little bit nudge, you need to nudge them to start thinking about it, then think Meta. And same with TikTok. TikTok works very much like Meta, and it's kind of new, and it should be part of the mix, but don't put all the money there yet because you're still experimenting with it. So again, it's a balance of the budget between the two. Google will be the one which will get you the search. Much more intent will be higher. Meta will give you others who might not be ready, but they're really thinking about it. So
that makes sense.
Just going down the hierarchy again, there's paid and organic, and within paid, you got to look at Meta, you got to look at Google, and you got to look at TikTok. And there might be third party, which you want to try. Third party ones, when we talk about Angie or we talk about Yelp, my main concern there is a lot of them resell the leads. So when the same lead gets sent to more than one business, so then it becomes a race to who calls first. So they take the lead, and so unlike in a Google, it's your lead. It only comes to you when they click, right? They didn't go to anybody else because you ran the ad, you control it. Third-party services to watch out for that is, I mean, they'll say they don't, but we have seen enough instances of same lead was sent same time to competition also, and that makes it a little harder to close. So, but still, it's a source of a lead for sure.
So, maybe I'm wrong here, but I think a lot of the owners, founders, they maybe didn't grow up with sort of social media, all the different platforms that you listed. So there's still some, a knowledge gap there. And trying to navigate through that is often challenging. A lot of times people just tend to steer away from that. In terms of if somebody was to look at some type of a marketing agency, I'm assuming there's a series of questions that need to be asked just in terms of, like their target audience. A lot of landscape companies are either project-based or maintenance-based, looking at long-term relationships. What's that ideal persona? What are some of the things that the owners should be aware of, or what type of questions should they be asking?
Yes. So turns out this one, it's going to be a little counterintuitive. So people think to hire a marketing agency, you need to know marketing and you need to ask them the marketing questions. Actually, it's not that way. A good marketing agency, when talking to you, should be talking to you about your business and trying to understand your business. In the sense, a good agency will ask you about, hey, what is your high value business? What are the projects which are high value? What are your low value businesses which you want to upsell? So they need to understand your business and they need to ask those questions. Any marketing agency who's not talking about your business and keeps talking about marketing techniques, like they say, oh, we can do Meta, we can do Google, and they keep pushing that, I would steer away from them. Because it doesn't matter how good you are at marketing, end of the day, it is about marketing the product and the service. And every business, even within a same category, has differences. Like their region has differences, their customer base is different, and then what services they prefer to do one versus the other is differences. So the first thing to go after is when you talk to them, see if they're talking about your business. They should ask you actually, what is your average sale? What is the high-end sale? What is the lower-end stage? What is kind of margins you have? So they should be asking you almost like a business consultant questions, even though they're not going to solve your business problem. But those numbers, your margin on each service tells a marketer what to do with that margin. So if your margin is, say, 20% on a business, then you know that you don't want to spend, more than 5-10% on the ads. And they come back and give you an ad plan or something which is 20%, you're going to lose money. They need to know that. So that's the first thing I'll go after. Then it should never be marketing jargon. There is so much there, but they should be able to explain to you in simple terms why, what they're doing on social media or on ads, how it brings you business in simple business terms. These are the steps which happen. People search, then they click, then they happen. They should be able to explain to you without using a lot of marketing terms. So if you feel that, then they're trying to just kind of show their expertise by saying, "Oh, we know this, you don't know this, that's why hire us." You don't know how to hire those people.
Okay.
So those are the two things I'll go after. First, they should understand your business, and you should feel very comfortable talking to them business. They should be truly like business partners with you. And then the second one is anything they explain in marketing, it should be clear to you. It should not be marketing jargon. You should understand in terms of your business why it'll work.
Okay, makes sense. You touched on an important point earlier where, when the market conditions slow down, people get nervous about what's going on in the industry. The first thing that typically is cut back is marketing costs. And then, the other thing I see is, people maybe experiment for, 2-3 months, 4 months, and then they'll give up because they're not seeing any results from any type of campaigns. But I think you touched upon you sort of need to build that long-term strategy. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. So this is the number I would give for if you're testing with somebody. Paid should be 60 to 90 days is the maximum you need to try to get good results. If it is a paid media, if you're starting from scratch, if you already have something going and somebody's coming and improving, it can be shortened to 30 to 60 days. But if you have no history, which they can look at and see what worked or what didn't work, then 60 to 90 days. If it is, on the other hand, SEO, then it's going to be more of a 5 to 6 month window. But the big part is this, that even if it is a strategy for 5 to 6 months in SEO, within first 2 months, you should see the right trends. It cannot be, oh, we are working on it, wait for 6 months, and nothing is going to happen suddenly. It's going to be a gradual thing. So initially, it might be slow. Same way for Google, for ads. Ads, within first few weeks or 3-4 weeks, you should see leads. There should be conversion. It cannot be wait 90 days and then we'll get you conversion. So that should start happening right away. And if Google, only reason I say 3-4 weeks is sometimes with the brand new ads, Google does not give you enough impressions. They want to make sure the account is legit and everything. So they throttle, even if you put more money, it doesn't go there. That's why 4 weeks. If they don't throttle you, within 2 weeks, should start getting results. So that's something that's why you need to buy in the 4 weeks. But the big thing is 90 days for paid maximum. And within 60 days, you should already get great stuff happening. And for search, it's 6 months, but within 2-3 months, you should see the right trends already. Everything should be going in the right direction. So you don't have to wait for 6 months. So you do need some patience, but it cannot be, nobody should be selling you something saying, oh, just wait for this whole period. Then it'll suddenly happen. You will see the right trends. The right markers will start showing up, right? So if you're signing a contract or something, that's what I recommend. And try to stay away from any company who says that, hey, you got to sign a 1-year contract with us and you cannot get out of that contract. It should have a clause at least either 30 days, because you might dislike them. You just don't like when you start working with them. So there should be a way out after 30. I don't want to go anymore. And usually the thing which we like to say is 30 and 90 days. 2 times where should be times where, because by 90 days, you kind of know, are they going to make a difference or no? So you don't want to be stuck with a year contract. We have this is sometimes so bad. We have had companies who are paying somebody else. They hate them so much. They say, we'll keep paying them, but can you take over? We just don't want to work with them. But because we are under contract, we'll pay double. We
Right.
dislike them so much. So you don't want to be in that situation, right?
Yeah,
Signing
no,
up a
for sure.
contract where you're stuck.
I suppose an example, if you have a marketing agency helping you to starting to bring in leads, that's all great, but unless you have some type of a system on the back end to be able to handle those leads, whether it be a CRM system or some type of automated campaign to nurture those leads. I mean, that
Absolutely.
needs to be all needs to be part of that package, whether it be an agency helping them or some internal system. But talk through maybe some good and bad examples.
Sure. So what we say is the lead tracking. So one of the things we insist is, and I think every marketing agency, I do believe, should do this. First is if there are phone calls, we actually insist on listening to every phone call recording as a marketing agency. That's the only way, and looking at every form, that's the only way we can ensure is the quality of lead right. Are we selling a wrong service? If we hear on the phone, somebody calls for a service and say, oh, we don't do that. Then if marketing agency knows in advance, they're going to change their strategy, right? And many things, in spite of all the good intentions from business, they forget to tell, or they just don't get to the details to tell the marketing agency. But in the calls, you can quickly get it. By listening to the calls, you start getting, oh, they don't do that. They don't want this kind of business. They're turning them down, or this is not matching. So that's one. The second is absolutely all the leads need to be tracked in a CRM. So we believe in strongly tracking every recording, every call. And also we can provide a feedback. Here's another example. Say you want a business from, you are a ABC, say you're a ABC landscaping company, and you want business from XYZ landscaping, and you're running ads and XYZ's ads are coming in. Somebody searches for XYZ and you get a call. If your phone people answering are not trained, they're going to say, oh, sorry, wrong number. We are ABC, we are not XYZ. If they're trained right, they're supposed to say, we are a landscaping company too. Yeah, I know you call them. Can we help you? Right? If they don't know that, I mean, this is a common thing we run into, that when you are trying to get the competition's traffic, also your people have to be trained. So that's one so marketing agency is not the training company, but at least they should guide and tell them, hey, your guys are not doing it. Get somebody better or get them training, right? Because definitely there's a line we draw. There's a beyond we cannot do. We cannot do everything for you. So once the call's there, you got to do it, but we want to listen, because this is how we see it. In long term, if you don't succeed, doesn't matter what we're bringing in, you're going to fire us, right? So if it's not converting to real business, so we might as well take interest and figure out that why it's breaking. Then the nurture. Nurture part is part of marketing. So either you have a team in-house doing it, or our agency should do it. Like they should get an email. Even if they say they didn't want the business now they get their email address, right? So you could send them a monthly newsletter about season changing, what are the things you should be watching for, when is the best time to get into landscaping, how weather patterns for the local area, what's expected. That kind of a newsletter, because this is I don't remember the percentage, but it's something over 70%. 70% people do not remember which contractor they worked with last. So they get a job done and they don't remember the name. And then when they're searching, then they say, oh, they were great, but I don't know their name. And then they go to Google and start searching again, and they might not get that one and find somebody else, right? So if you have that nurture thing going on, you build that, you did that good job. And this is, by the way, this has happened to me. I've got, like, I saw the stats, and HVAC company, they installed the HVAC 5 years ago. Now I have a other small AC I want installed, and I don't remember the name of the company. I know they were in that region. I researched them that time with the ranking, and I had to look through my emails for their invoice because I wanted them, and that made it so difficult. Now that company was actually sending a newsletter every month with some useful information, I would have remembered. And this cannot be newsletter about their sale or promotion all the time. It has to be some information which is useful to the homeowner, or depending on the landscaping business, where you're going. If it is commercial, then information about commercial, right? So it needs to be that. So that nurture is absolutely very, very important. And it's repeat customers are the easiest customers to get, right? Once they're happy with you, they come back to you, right?
Come back, and maybe they will spend more with you. Maybe they go for a different service. Maybe they do an upgraded service. So yeah,
absolutely.
So much easier. That low-hanging fruit almost. Yeah.
So nurture is absolutely what you mentioned is, you got to have the CRM, and you got to have, so what we do is either we work with the clients, our practices, if they have a good, nice CRM, we'll work with them. Otherwise, we will install a CRM for them and work with that, right?
Okay. Okay, cool. As we wrap things up here, what's the best way for people to connect with you, find out a bit more about your services? Maybe they want to pick your brains about some different strategies. What's the best way for them to connect with
Certainly.
you?
So KUWARE.com is a great website you can go, and it actually gives you a drop down and you pick what service you want, and they'll set up a meeting with me or one of the staff members. If you want to reach me directly, it's just Avi, AVI at KUWARE.com. If you can send email there. Invisible is for agencies. If you're an agency who's servicing these clients, even if you send to KUWARE, we'll direct you to the Invisible in that situation. But KUWARE is the main brand and our bigger agency. So that's the easiest way, avi@kuware.com. LinkedIn, I have a lot of people and a lot of following, but I am slow to respond because it's become so spammy now. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn and try to message, but I cannot guarantee. But email will not be ignored. I can say that. We don't throw away any email without actually doing something with it, right? So avi@kuware.com will be the easiest way to reach out, or just kuware.com website has ways to set up a meeting directly, like calendar and all in there.
Awesome.
All right.
I would really appreciate your knowledge today. I think some great nuggets that people can think about how to introduce some of your strategies into the system, their growth strategy. So really do appreciate your time today. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
All right.
Hopefully that was pure, dead brilliant for you today, and you got some great takeaways for your business or your leadership role. This is Robert Clickybeard. We'd love to get you and your friends to join us in our future journey. So please subscribe to our various podcast channels or visit thecommerciallandscaper.com or wilson360.com. Love you to join you there. We have our new 360 Plus community program. We'd love you to sign up for. It's on the far right-hand side of our website. Thanks again for our partner, Weathermatic, and I encourage you to reach out to them. Have a pure, dead, brilliant day. Cheers, everyone.